Welcome to Snacks Weekly on Data Science. This podcast is all about making data science and machine learning knowledge accessible and less intimidating. Today, we are going to talk about how to effectively leverage production large language model, such as ChatGPT, to improve business objectives. This topic is based on a tech blog with the title Oscar Claim Assistant built on GPT-4, written by the engineering team from Oscar Health. You can find the link to the blog in this episode description for further reference. Throughout this episode, we'll dissect this topic from both business and data science angles. Now let's dive in. On the business side, let's take a look at the problem to be solved. Oscar Health is an American health insurance company. It offers plans for individuals, families, and small businesses. As their customers, after a medical procedure, a lab test, or appointment, a doctor will submit a claim to Oscar Health. This claim includes details about all services and how much this doctor charges for each one items. Oscar then processes the claim and pays the doctor according to the patient's insurance plan benefits. When a doctor have a question about a particular complex claim, like when they see the payment is lower than they expected, they may contact one of Oscar's claim specialists, who then interprets the claim system output. This is a complex and labor-intense process for the health insurancer. This represents a significant cost for the company. If there are more efficient ways to enable fast claim processing, this would directly translate into future savings on labor, therefore improving the company's profit directly. Now we've understood the need for the company to improve its claim processing efficiency. Let's shift gear and dive into the technology side to see what could be a good solution. The solution lies in the recent popular large language model, or LLM for short. LLM was popularized by the introduction of ChatGPT. ChatGPT can serve as a conversational chatbot where people ask questions and receive answers. For Oscar Health's use case, previously the team developed a claim system and its underlying data model to represent each claim. This system has an emphasis on claim traceability, where each claim is represented by a detailed log of each decision made throughout the claim processing journey. This is referred to as claim trace. So, when a doctor asks the question, "Why is my claim item being denied?" the team can put this specific question, along with the detailed claim trace, into ChatGPT. Since ChatGPT is highly effective in converting structured data into natural language, it can provide an answer to help address the customer query. This seems very intuitive and simple, but there are a few challenges along the way for this approach to be in production. Let's take a look at those challenges one by one. The first challenge lies in the fact that ChatGPT 4, which is the latest version of ChatGPT, only allows a limited number of tokens to be used as the input. As of now, this input token limit for GPT-4 is around 4,000. Since each token can be either a word or part of a word. The actual number of words one can put in will vary, but it is usually around 1,500 to 2,000 words. If the claim trace is too long, then the system simply can't process it. Facing this challenge, the team decided to remove nearly all the intermediate data from the claim trace. Those intermediate data includes arguments, variables, function calls, and some records retrieved from databases. These efforts make the direct use of GPT-4 possible, and the result was showing as promising. While the GPT-4 answer accurately identifies what action applied to the claim line, it does not provide sufficient details to assist someone investigating the claim, meaning that it does not have the precise service used as justification for the denial. As a result, when the team have claim experts to evaluate the output from LLM-generated claim explanations, humans and machines perform about equally for the simple claim scenarios. But the machine is unable to solve cases for average and complex scenarios. With this new challenge, the team dived into the problem and found that the GPT requires more context from the stack trace. So they introduced a new data structure called skeleton trace, which is more like the table of contents in a novel. It provides an overview of the structure of the story without any of the details. By providing GPT-4 with this skeleton trace, and then ask which segments of the trace appears to be most relevant, the team gets an idea of which piece of the full trace are needed to actually answer the question. This approach reduces the scope from solving one massive problem to solving several smaller problems. This enables the GPT-4 to request additional details required in the answer, and allowing it to ask the claim system for additional details from the stack trace iteratively. With this improved solution, the team found there is significant improvements on performance as well. They find that for some buckets of the problems, the accuracy reached 100%. However, for a few difficult problem categories, this claim assistant still have the accuracy rate around 80%. With the current GPT system implementation, the team dived deeper and observed a situation where sometimes the GPT-4 initially just failed to identify the right branches of a skeleton trace to dive deeper. With this insight, they asked GPT-4 about how confident it is with the current answer. And surprisingly, GPT-4 knows that it is struggling with solving a problem and identifies certain situations where it needs more information. Basically, it understands that it lacks sufficient information to provide the right answer. With this finding, the team uses the certainty assessment to determine if more details need to be retrieved. This solution enables the claim assistant to engage in a more multi-step problem solving. After the customer gives the first question, if GPT-4 does not feel confident to provide an answer, then it will ask further questions for the doctor to engage and share more details to help the system provide a better answer to this question. Now we see the journey about how the team has went through to improve their systems. It is obvious there are two key elements helping to guide the team's improvement. The first one is evaluation and the metrics. The team has an approach to leverage manual evaluation to rate the effectiveness of human versus machine's performance. And this provides a guiding principle of how to make improvements and what is their current status. Another one important element is a detailed case study or observations to identify further areas to improve. Combining both together is the right path to enable them to make iterative improvements to push this claim assistance performance higher. Now we discuss both the business problem and the technical solution. Let's wrap it up. In this episode, we take a look at how Oscar Health, a health insurance company, leverages the large language model ChatGPT-4 to develop their claim assistant feature. They have built a reasonable assessment process and deployed several strategies to guide GPT-4 in making further improvements to reach their desirable stage. If you like the content of this episode, please subscribe to the channel, give me a 5-star review, and leave a comment. Your feedback is very appreciated, and I'll see you next week.